Look at this. Typical foggy, musty morning in London. Oh, bloody hell. Hey, just thought I'll do my walk can't even speak. Walk with me vlogs by the riverside on a Tuesday morning. Probably see this whenever I release it. I was thinking about something this morning, and I was thinking about the role that spoken word poets play in today's society in Britain, and how influential they are as a voice for the people. And to be fair, all over the world where spoken word, oh, big spider, all over the world where spoken word is prominent or is growing, that is the common perception, and rightly so, to be honest. Myself speaking as a spoken word artist, poet, whatever you want to call it, that was my intention, to start spoken word, to share my story as a means to inspire people. I felt maybe my stories could help, as I had experienced a lot of things, but so does everyone else. But for some reason recently, spoken word poets have been given a very interesting platform in Britain. Even looking at my example at the moment, I've recently been doing loads of media outlet interviews, TV, very mainstream TV channels. That was once, to be honest, but I had another opportunity, but I turned it down. But they wanted us spoken word poets to talk, so like I was thinking, hold on, why am I, out of all people, being asked to come and talk about politics, which has been a common example? But the funny thing is, I'm not the only one. Other spoken word poets have also been in the limelight, similar, probably more recently or more consistently than I have. People like a name like George the Poet, who's a fantastic artist. I remember back in 2011, I think it was, he did the Great Debate Tour, like a university debating tour. But at the same time, you know, he studies within the area, I think, or he did. But nonetheless, he's recognised for his spoken word, because the kind of stuff he writes about allows him to speak for the people. People like Sully Breaks, who also now talks on education often, last seen on Sky News. So once again, another spoken word poet in Britain who's been that voice for the people. I know Deanna Rogers is also another great example, and her TED Talks on politics nowadays was a great spoken word piece. And what intrigued me the most was actually, I was thinking, hold on, well, I don't really have poems which are politically orientated of some sort. But what put me in a main limelight was being a young Muslim living in Britain. Had a role at university which automatically made me, or I had to become politically minded, which my friend once told me actually. He said, Mo, when you take the role of the president of an Islamic society at a university institution, you are naturally going to have to become politically minded. And he couldn't be more right. And ever since then, it started off with BBC Radio Devon as like something that was quite mainstream, to call-ups from different news outlets I won't mention, and me having to turn them down because they were asking me to engage in discussions which I felt I was definitely not qualified to just talk about, and something that could have put me in a very negative limelight, so I had to turn it down. What else? London Live was the most common feature, and oh, the lighting's gone funky. London Live was the most common feature, and recently Sky News talking about young people on politics. But that's the pattern now. It's becoming quite consistent. That I don't know about other parts of the world, but in UK, the trust has gone from not wanting to listen to politicians anymore regarding topics that they're not qualified to speak on. So they'd rather go for the more youthful, active people who are engaged with the community to talk about matters which affect people. And I think that makes sense to me. As to maybe one of the reasons why spoken word artists are being given that kind of platform. Don't know what I'm doing, by the way. Lovely bridge. I'm by Battersea Park. So yeah, what was also interesting is in my last debate on Sky News, kind of summed up the kind of work that spoken word poets do. And most spoken word poets are on the grassroots and they're engaging with the community, whether it be youth or, you know, the young employed or people who have families, parents, workers of all types. And so with that debate on Sky News, I realised that the person I was debating with was looking at politics from, just an example, was looking at politics and the youth from the outside in, whereas myself and many other spoken word artists and community activists or any sort of activists always look at it from the inside in because they're involved from the grassroots level. But yeah, man, it's really fascinating, and it's happened so quickly. It really has. It's happened really quickly because spoken word has only started to grow a lot in the last maybe 3-4 years on the mainstream level in the UK compared to other parts of the world. And it's interesting because now spoken word in the UK, I read an article back in October that they're going to start implementing the use of spoken word in English at school level in the UK, which is fantastic. I've been saying that for years because I know in America they've had that system for a very long time. But it's fascinating. I think it's great. I think maybe us spoken word poets can be the voice of the people, the voice of the generation, particularly now. I think the voice of the generation is the most common term associated to any sort of mainstream artist to be spoken word poets. And I saw a poster the other day on Facebook. I can't really remember word for word, but it was basically saying how artists are engaged with people of all types, any artists, whether it be musicians, actors, now spoken word poets, are engaged with an audience often from people from different backgrounds, whether it be from the working class, the middle class, whatever you call it. Artists are engaged with them, whereas politicians are more engaged with specific not target audience, because there should be targets in everyone, but politicians are often now not more engaged, but now are seen to be more engaged with people from the middle class, whereas sometimes the working class are sometimes neglected, not purposely, but also feel that the working class can't connect with politicians anymore because of the consistent amount of promises that have not been met. And that's what artists do. Artists are that platform because we can connect with anyone. I like to think I'm an artist when I say we. Forgive me if that sounds a bit like big-headed, I don't mean that. But artists, we do have that platform because we're on stage, we are talking to the people. We can write, we can talk about anything, and as many poets say, even like my favourite poet in America, Sarah Kay, she says, at TED Talks when she got 2 standing ovations, amazing poems. One of my biggest inspirations, she says anyone could pick up a poem. Anyone could pick up a pad to write a poem about something that is affecting their lives or something that they've experienced which can connect with people. And now it's fantastic to see that now in Britain we're seeing this as something more common, that spoken word artists are being given that platform at the forefront to discuss things where people at the top can discuss, but people at the bottom won't connect with them. But yeah, so no, that's what I thought I'd just write or share a quick video vlog of me strolling around Battersea Park to maintain the theme of walk with me. And it's a lovely morning. You should do this more often. London is amazing with loads of amazing parks. Battersea is my favourite park. Maybe it's because I'm biased because I'm from Battersea. But yeah, man, peace out guys, thanks for watching. Simples.